Weirdo of the Flock. Welcome to the most offensive church this side of the universe, the Party Pin. Yay, things are happening. Yeah. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said, because he did not fucking say that. Me, God, right now, in God voice. I didn't say that shit. Yeah, this is God's, mine, me. It's my unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by your Superstone Sage, the Saint of Awesome, Nikki K. the Great. Ha ha.
Yeah, I am fucking awesome. Clap for me, I clap for you. Yeah. So, while you pile in, I'm gonna show you around.
Hey, future fellow weirdo, you're the black sheep of the flock. Come and take a load off. Let's have a little talk. This side of the universe, the wildest place you've been. Welcome to the service at the Party Pen. Have a good time, laugh and giggle.
Come on in and smile just a little.
We're reading God's unofficial bio today.
The Bible lady's gonna
Lead the way. I got the coffee and the smokes, I got the herb and the chair, got a seat with your name on it, waiting right there, searching for the mystery, a better mind to find. Leave that stuffy, judgy world way back behind. We're the outcasts and the rebels, we're the ones that don't fit in, but there's a holy kind of magic in the middle of the sin.
Yeah, the mystery is deep and the coffee's brewing strong in the most offensive church where we all belong. Have a good time.
Laugh and giggle.
Come on in and smile just a little.
We're reading God's unofficial bio today.
The Bible lady's gonna
Lead the way. The mystery of God, what a beautiful find.
a better understanding for a
Black sheep's mind.
Boom! I know. Hey, what's up? How are you doing, Dustin? I hope you're doing great. Gonna go on this ride with me on Jesus' spaceship. We're gonna have a good ass fucking time. If I can even find Jesus' spaceship anymore. I've gotten so many like new thingies. There he is. Yeah. I'm actually doing real well. Well, as I know of right now, real well. Man, I didn't know this chapstick had a color. So my lips look like I've been smoked. I've been giving Mr. Marshmallow some head. And a melting marshmallow at that. Don't ask me. I don't know. But, hey, Chris, I'm doing great. Hold on, let me get everybody up on screen so people know who I'm talking to and not just myself. Because that's sometimes the thing that happens. Yeah. But you're staying and hanging out, right? Uh, there's that. Hold on. No, we gotta do this. Okay, and then we're doing this. Bam. I don't even know how that works. We'll just do it this way. There, now nobody can see. It's a good time. All right. So, we are at Chronicles. Today sucked. I'm hanging in there though. Well, if you're hanging, just make sure there's a chair under you and it's very sturdy. And just chillax and listen to this ridiculous story. Well, it's not a ridiculous story. It's actually a rather funny story from what I remember. But I don't know. We're going to find out. But I'm pretty sure God gets pissed somewhere in this. So God's about to be angry too. He's about to have a day. So don't even worry about it. You're not alone, Chris. Oh, yeah. We're about to do some shit. Okay. You ready, Dustin and Chris and everybody watching? We're about to have a good time. Man, how do these people fuck around this time? Like something's happening. Okay. Here we go. After these deeds of faithfulness, Sennacherib, or Sennacherib, 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 but I think this is the letter. Sennacherib. Okay, we'll go with that. He was the king of Assyria, and he entered Judah and encamped against the fortified cities, thinking to win them over to himself. And when Hezekiah saw Sennacherib had come, and that his purpose was to make war against Jewland, he consulted with his leaders and commanders to stop the water from the springs which were outside the city, and they helped him. Many people gathered together who stopped all the springs and the brook that ran through the land, saying, "Why should the kings of Assyria come and find a lot of water?" And he strengthened himself, built up all the wall that was broken, raised it up to the towers, and built another wall outside. Also, he repaired the Milo in the city of David, which is Zion. So these asshole Zionist people, whatever the fuck they are, they could just go to the city of David and see how they like that shit. I don't know, but I'm just saying. I don't know nothing about it. And somebody called me a Jew earlier. And I'm not either one of those things. I don't even know what it is. I'm not even a Christian. I'm a storyteller. And I love the Old Testament. Just so everybody knows. And made weapons and shields in abundance. Then he set military captains over the people, gathered them together to him in the open square of the city gate, and gave them encouragement, saying, "Be strong, be courageous, do not be afraid nor dismayed before the king of Assyria, nor before all the multitude that is with him. There are more with us than with him. With him is an army of flesh, but with us is the Lord our God to help us and to fight our battles." And the people were strengthened by the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. Aw, everybody left. There were 4 people watching, but then everybody left. That sucks. Oh well, I do not care. Okay. After this, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, sent his servants to Jewland, but he and all the forces with him laid siege against Lachish or Lachish to Hezekiah, king of Judah, and to all Judah who were in Jewland, saying,
"Thus says Sennacherib, king of Assyria, in what do you trust that you remain under siege in Jewland? Does not Hezekiah persuade you to give yourselves over to die by famine and by thirst, saying, Lord our God will deliver us from the hand of Assyria? Has not the same Hezekiah taken away his high places and altars, and commanded Judah and Jewland, saying, You shall worship before one altar and burn incense on it? Hi, Dustin, I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Do you not know that I and my fathers have done to all the people of other lands? Were their gods of the nations of those lands in any way able to deliver them out of my hand? Who was there strong among all the gods of those nations that my father destroyed and could not deliver his people from my hand? But your God will be able to. Listen. No, don't listen to your king. He's gonna get you all killed. Listen. No God has been able to save anybody Listen. Okay. Oh, okay. What is
happening? Okay. Furthermore, his servant spoke against God and against Hezekiah. He also wrote letters to revile God and speaks against him, saying, as the gods of the nations of other lands did not help their people, how will this God be able to help? So, then they called out with a loud voice in Hebrew to the people of Jewland who were on the wall to frighten and trouble them. And they spoke against God and against all the gods of the lands. Now, because of this, Hezekiah, the prophet Isaiah, prayed and cried out to heaven. Then the Lord sent an angel who cut down every mighty man of valor, leader, and captain of the king of Assyria. So he returned shamefaced to his own land. And when he had gone into the temple of his God, some of his own offspring. Hi, trucker. Yay. Yeah, you can help people. How are you? How are you? We're having some Old Testament fun. I hope you stay. Okay. Thus, the Lord saved Hezekiah and all the inhabitants of Judah from the hand of Sennacherib and from the hand of all others, and guided them on every side. And many brought gifts to the Lord at Judah and presents to Hezekiah, king of Judah, so that he was exalted in the sight of the nation. In those days, Hezekiah was sick, near death, and he prayed to the Lord, and he spoke to him and gave him a sign. But Hezekiah did not repay according to the favor shown him, for he got fat and happy. See, this what happens when you get fat and happy. Okay. Hold on. Therefore, wrath was looming over him and over Judah and Julian. Then Hezekiah humbled himself for the pride of his heart and the inhabitants of Julian, so that the wrath of the Lord did not come upon them in the days of Hezekiah. Okay. Hezekiah had very great riches and honor, and he made himself treasuries for silver, for gold, precious stones, spices, shields, all kinds of things, storehouses for the harvest of grain, wine, oil, stalls for all kinds. Dude, he just did everything, right? He did it all in abundance, for God had given him very much property. This same Hezekiah also stopped the water outlet of Upper Gihon and brought the water by tunnel to the west side of the city of David. Hezekiah prospered in all his works. Here we go. It's about to be some shit. Okay. However, regarding the ambassadors of the priests of Babylon, Here we go. Now we're about to read about Babylon. Yeah, this is going to be some shit. Okay. Okay. Whom they sent to him to inquire about the wonder that was done in the land. God withdrew from him in order to test him, that he might know all that was in his heart. I don't know what that means. Now, the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and his goodness, they are written in the vision of Isaiah and in the book of Kings and the kings of Judah. So Hezekiah rested with his fathers, and they buried him in the upper tombs of the sons of David, and all Judah and the inhabitants of Juland honored him at his death. Then Manasseh, his son, reigned in his place. Now remember, Hezekiah, we read it in the book of Kings. He's the one who let Babylon know how much stuff they had. So we are in between chapters right now. We're about to go to chapter 33. So let's smoke a cigarette, take a drink of this coffee, smoke this bowl, and tell me what's going on, Dustin. How are you? Chris, how are you? Are you still here? Everybody left. A bunch of people left. I guess they were like, oh my God, this is not the Bible I'm used to. I'm leaving. But Miss Mud Duck told me to think in my head that they probably got a phone call that they'll be back. Wouldn't it be cool if that's what it was? But Miss Mud Duck told me they went for a phone call. They'll be right back. They never come back. But my Bible reading is too much even for non-Christians, so I should expect things like that all the time. And Robert Trucker over here says, believe in Christ Jesus and receive eternal life right now. That's what Robert said. Sometimes he talks, but I think he left. Dustin, what are you doing? Do you know what? Dustin's in the other room asleep. I'm just gonna call you nerd. I'm like, nerd, what are you doing? You want some of this coffee? Wow. I'm still standing, even though nobody's watching. Oh. I'm still standing. Okay. I'm going to get to reading. There should be people here. There should be people chatting because I want to smoke my cigarette, damn it. I don't know. But people should chat like you're here. Say words to me. Even if it's fuck you, Nikki, you're terrible. At least you'll be saying something so I can smoke my cigarette. Where is Nerd at? Jesus is the funniest guy on the fucking planet. And he's not somebody you would want as an enemy. Oh my God. Jesus is vicious with those words, man. Jesus is vicious. And he doesn't even need word magic. But as I've said, I've read the story of Jesus 3 times. I'm never reading that story again because it hurts my feel bad. And as for the New Testament, I don't read that because it has nothing to do with Jesus. It's literally the law, and then Jesus' name is just thrown in there. It's crap. I don't. Mm-mm. But that's just my own personal thing. I'm always outnumbered on my chat, and I get that, but I don't want to read the New Testament. But Jesus was a badass. He's like an original gangster. Like, seriously original. Sometimes it's good to get you feel bad, but I understand. Look, I've read that story 3 times and my heart's hurt 3 times. That's enough for me. When I read it the first time, it was brand new, so it hurt the worst. The second time I read it, I kind of expected it, so it hurt in a different way. And then I read it the third time and it just pissed me off, and I was like, I'm done with this. I can't. Mm-mm. I didn't even read John. I got so mad, I just shut it off at Luke. And went back to the Old Testament. Well, the middle of the Old Testament. Because the beginning of it is too long and it's so boring. And it's just crap. Oh, Chris, the girl I was going to get to take the bus with me to Maryland or drive with me to Maryland, she said absolutely fucking not. And I said, but he's a subscriber. And she said, even more, absolutely the fuck not. So I'm not allowed to go. And I tried to entice her with electric hamburgers, and she was like, shut up. Didn't I have weed? I was pretty sure I had weed. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Damn, there it is. Blended in. Trust me, there's something. Yes. Hello, I'll keep the hamburger in the microwave. But no, you have a good time. Yeah, my tiny little serial killer friend. maybe you should come to Ohio. You and your daughter, there's a campsite right here around my house. You and your daughter could come camping and find stick bugs. Bugs that look like sticks. And there's bugs that look like leaves. Yeah, you can find all sorts of cool shit down here. There's giant ass spiders and they're like yellow. Yeah, they're fucking ginormous and they look like flowers. It's some what like nature is wild here in Ohio. I'm still standing. Or you could take your daughter to the gathering of the Juggalos in August and buy me a ticket. That ju- that right there. You saying you're not a psychopath, you're probably a secret psycho. Like the kind of psycho where you don't want to go to sleep at night. But I'm sure I'm losing viewers by losing viewers by not reading. But you're also here and you could also chat with me. So I don't know. Okay, we do. Look, it's okay. I'm a psychopath, but on the happy end of psycho. Yeah, I'm all the way on the other side of psycho. I'm so happy I could, do happy things to you. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Just have a good time. Okay, Manasseh was 12 when he became king, and he reigned 55 years in Julian. But he was evil as fuck. Okay. But for he rebuilt the high places that Hezekiah broke down. He raised up altars for the Baals and made wooden images and worshipped all the hosts of heaven and served them. He also built altars in the house of the Lord. Um, so he fucked up God's house. He fucked up God's house. Okay. He built altars for the hosts of heaven in the two courts of God's house. He also caused his sons to pass through fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. He practiced soothsaying, used witchcraft and sorcery, and consulted mediums and spiritualists. He did much evil. Wait, he did evil. Like he really fucked around and really wanted to find out because he even set a carved image of the idol which he had made in God's house on God's nightstand. This motherfucker, right? It's like, really, you're just gonna put a picture of your girlfriend on your wife's nightstand. You gotta be fucking kidding me. This motherfucker. Look, who does that? It would be like if somebody put a hamburger picture instead of a pancake picture for breakfast, pancakes and scrambled eggs, but the picture is a hamburger. It don't make no fucking sense. Ooh, 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 ooh. Why would you do that? Why does he do that? Doesn't fucking no one know. Why? Like, you could have just built this other guy his own bedroom. Like, why does he need God's bedroom to put the picture of his girlfriend in his wife's bedroom? Who does that? well, you know. Hmm. Okay. Okay. We've said that. Okay. Only okay. Blah blah blah. Oh, I can read all this in God voice. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So he put an idol in God's bedroom, the same bedroom that God said to David and to Solomon.
I do think you're a secret psycho. If you're not an open psycho, then you're a secret psycho. Everybody has some level of psycho depending on what emotion people provoke. Everybody has a killer in them. And never forget that. Everybody is a killer to the right person. The wrong switch gets flipped by a person, you can become a killer instantly. Yep, absolutely. And never forget that. You are a walking bullet. Your car is a walking bullet. All it takes is one thing, and then you're a killer. Let me tell you, Louis.
Hold on. Okay. Louis Farrakhan. I don't like that guy at all. He killed Martin Luther King. But, and Malcolm X. Well, actually, it was Malcolm X, not Martin Luther King. No, that was somebody else. Louis Farrakhan. Martin Luther King. But Louis Farrakhan even said it. If somebody fucks with something you love, you become a killer instantly. Depending on what emotion is triggered in you would depend on if you could become a killer instantly. And anybody can. Anybody can. It just depends on what button is flipped and by who and when. So let me go back to God. Sorry, God, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to talking now that Nikki shut the fuck up. Look, it's a whole thing. She's testing my patience with her Louis Farrakhan bullshit. Look, that guy sucks nuts. Like literally sucks them. They're in his jaw. But he's right on that. Okay. So what did I say to David and Solomon? Oh yeah. In this house in Jewland, which I have chosen from all the tribes of these terrible ass people, I will put my name forever, and I will not again remove the foot of Israel in the land which I have appointed your fathers. Only if they are careful to do all that I commanded them, which is literally just 10 rules. 10. They turned 10 into a lot, but literally it was be kind. Well, don't be a dick. Don't, hold on, what was it? Don't be a dick. Don't. Oh, I remember. Love your God. Don't be a dick. And don't murder people. They turned that into how many fucking laws do we have right now? Look, they turned 10 rules into like a bazillion fucking rules because they got embarrassed by something. or they saw something they didn't like, or somebody was having more fun than them. Look, it was a fucking thing that was happening. Look, I don't even know. But if I did know, it would be I only have 10 rules. Love God, don't be a dick, and don't murder people. Really, you could break it down to those three. But seeing as these people like to be very specific, I turned it into 10 rules. And they want to be even more specific by making it like 300,000 bazillion rules. Like, who does that? These people do. Yeah, it's a thing that's happening. So, oh, huh?
Okay. So Manasseh seduced Judah and the inhabitants of Jewland to do more evil than the nations whom the Lord had destroyed. And the Lord spoke to Manasseh and his people, but they would not listen. Therefore, the Lord brought upon them the captains of the army of the king of Assyria, who took Manasseh with hooks, bound him with bronze fetters, and carried him off to Babylon. Now, when he was in affliction, he implored the Lord his God and humbled himself greatly and prayed, and he received his entreaty, heard his supplication, and brought him back to Jewland to his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew the Lord was God. Hold on, what'd you say? Thing you got wrong. Hold on. Secret Psycho. The thing you got wrong is that I don't have a twisted agenda. But of course, I'm dangerous. Yes, I have a twisted agenda. I want to feed you electric hamburgers. Hey, my commentary was inspired. Yeah, I had inspirational words. Doesn't happen very often. But again, I'm a sage and I know things and I have knowledge that people should keep in mind, especially when they deal with other people. Just think of that person as a bullet, you know. Just keep in mind they could be dangerous. Okay. After this, he built a wall outside the city of David on the west side of Gion in the valley as far as the entrance of the fish gate. And it enclosed Ophel, and he raised it to a very great height. Then he put military captains in all the fortified cities of Judah. He took away the foreign gods and the idol from God's house and from the altars that he built in the mount of God's house and in Jewland. And he cast them out of the city. He also repaired God's altar, sacrificed peace offerings, and thanks offerings on it. And he commanded Judah to serve the God of Israel. I only have love for you. I also love you, Chris. But yeah, you gotta know I'm like calm and not insane person. Well, maybe, but yeah. Right. For the glory of. Oh, well, that is a declares judgment on Babylon using the imagery of wives for your merchants were the great ones of the earth. I don't know what that means, but right now, right now we're reading about uh what was his name? Uh Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah. But it looks like he just died. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh, his prayer to his God, and the words of the seers who spoke to him in the name of the Lord. Indeed, they are written in the kings of Israel, but he was the king of Judah. See? See? They do this on purpose so you can't keep track of the kings. So you can't follow the fucking bloodline. Manasseh was the king of Judah, not the king of Israel. These people fucking suck. I hate them so bad because people are so confused about this shit all the time. Even me, I write down the names of the kings and still can't keep up with them because they switch. They like switch. And then I think here coming up, they kill a bunch of kings and then a bunch of paupers become kings. I don't remember. That might have already happened, but it might not have already happened. It might be happening soon. I don't remember, but it's real hard to keep up with. Okay. But anyways, they're written in the kings of Israel, although he was the king of Judah, but okay. Also, his prayer and how God received his entreaty and all his sins trespassed and the sites where he had built high places and set up wooden and carved images before he was humbled. Indeed, they are written among the sayings of Hosea. I don't know who that is, and I've never heard of that book before. Okay. So Manasseh rested with his fathers, and he was buried in his own house. Then his son Amon reigned in his place. And okay, Amon was 22, or Ammon was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 2 years in Juland. But he was evil, just like his dad, and he sacrificed to all the carved images which his father had made and served them. And he did not humble himself like Manasseh did, but Ammon trespassed way more. Then his servants conspired against him and killed him in his own house. But the people of the land executed all those who conspired against King Ammon. Then the people of the land made Josiah king in his place. Yeah, this is another baby king. Okay, yeah, he was a baby. It's another baby king. What are we at? Okay. Uh Glory of Christ. Are you still here? We'll give that a like, but are you still here? What about you, nerd? Are you still here? What about you, Chris? What do you want to do? You want to read about this baby king? It's probably not that long. Uh, dun, 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 dun. Okay, nothing. Nothing and no one. I don't know anything. I don't know what's happening. Wait, what does this say? Oh, shepherding the shepherd. Hello, are you still here? They had the red pill. Maybe they're here. Oh, what? Damn it. Okay, I know what's happening. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so do you want to read more? Because I think we're going to read more. I might read more. Nobody showed back up. Mark Twain, Diary of Adam and Eve. You'll love it. Really? I'll look it up. Okay, so are we keeping reading? Because I told you the other day that I'm not supposed to be reading any other spiritual book because God gets pissed off at me when I do that. But I wonder if he would get mad at me if maybe I read a book during the day. I don't know. Maybe not a spiritual book, a different book. It's not scripture, but it's pretty good. See, I was thinking about doing something like that, but I was gonna do it maybe the best book I ever read, well, besides the Old Testament, before the Old Testament, was a book called Shantaram. The guy escaped from uh, an Australian prison and ended up being a doctor in India and going to an Indian prison and then getting out of the Indian prison and then Australia finding out he was in Indian prison and then the Indian officials hiding him. It's a great fucking story. And I wanted to read that on stream. Not well versed on the Old Testament, but I am here lurking and listening. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and you will definitely find, you will love this. You will love this because I think we're about to have God voice. Yeah, just let me finish rolling this cigarette and smoking this joint real quick. Well, I just finished the joint, but I'm about to light this cigarette and, well, see, I got excited talking about that book and put this whole thing up. Okay. All right, here we go. Awesome. Some people would call me blasphemous. So, anyways, here we go. Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned 31 years in Jewland. And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the ways of his father David. Oy. Okay. He did not turn aside to the right or the left, for in the 8th year of his reign, while he was still young, he began to seek the God of his father David. And in the 12th year, he began to purge Judah and Jewland of the high places, the wooden images, all the shit. And they broke down all the altars of the Baal and all the incense altars he cut down, and the wooden and carved images and the molded images he broke into pieces and made dust of them and scattered it on the graves of those who had sacrificed to them. He burned the bones of the priests on their altars and cleansed Judah and Jewland. And so he did in the cities of Manasseh, Ephraim, Simeon, as far as Naphtali, all around, with axes. When he had broken down the altars and the wooden images, and beaten the carved images into powder, cut down all the incense altars throughout all the land of Israel, he returned to Jewland. In the 18th year of his reign, when he had purged the land and the temple, he sent Shaphan, Maaseiah, the governor, and Joah, the recorder, to repair God's house. And when they came to Hilkiah, the high priest, they delivered the money that was brought to the house of God, which the Levites, who kept the doors and gathered them from the hands of Manasseh and Ephraim, from all the remnant of Israel and Judah, and Benjamin, which they had brought back to Jewland. Then they put it in the hand of the foreman who had oh my God. So they paid for the house, God's house, to get done. And the men did the work faithfully. Their overseers were Jahath and Obadiah. The Levites, Merari and Zechariah and Meshulam, their sons, from the Kohathites, to supervise. Others of the Levites and all whom were skillful. Here we go again. Oh, God loves happy music. Yeah, God loves happy music. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'll answer you in a second, Chris. Where am I at? Okay. So, others of the Levites, all of whom were skilled with instruments of music, were over the burden bearers and were the overseers of all who did work in any kind of service. And some of the Levites were scribes, officers, and gatekeepers. Now, when they brought out the money that was brought into God's house, Hilkiah the priest found, oh, here we go. They found the Bible again. They've lost Das Bible 3 times so far. This is the 3rd time that they've lost Das Bible and just find it randomly. So we're supposed to believe these people have followed the Bible all this time, because no, they haven't. God does not play smooth jazz. If anything, God plays big band music, and he plays the trumpet. And we find out in Exodus, God originally talked in trumpet because he fucking loves the trumpet. And the trumpet is in everything, God. God loves the fucking trumpet. Yep, sure does. He loves to hear it. I don't know, maybe if God's family spoke in trumpet before his dad was sealed away in a box for like 10 million years or something. I think it's 10,000 years. He was sealed in a box for 10,000 years. That was God the first, don't worry. God the third is Jesus, but right now we're reading about God the second. Because God the first was shoved in a box somewhere. And we read about that in the beginning of Revelations. Yeah. And also Norse people believe that also. And it kind of seems like it happens in Genesis, but not totally sure because we're not reading Genesis, but I will definitely point it out if we ever get back to it. Like, and Genesis also proves a lot of that Greek shit is true. Like, it talks about like children born to gods and whatnot. And that's why there was a giant flood, because these people were just getting out of hand. Huh. Okay. Ephraim, the recorder, Levites, they did. Okay. So this is, okay, here we go. Now, when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord, Hilkiah, the priest, found the book of the law of the Lord given by Moses. So this is the original Bible. Then Hilkiah answered and said to Shaphan, I found God's unofficial biography. What do we do? I mean, Moses wrote it, so I mean, it's not really an official biography because, well, God would have had to have something to do with it, but this is all Moses' words, so it's an unofficial biography, and I found it. So, what we're gonna do with it? So, Shaphan carried the book to the king, bringing the king word, saying, okay, all that's done. And they got all the money together, and they have delivered it into the people who need to do the work. And also, like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. but I believe we found the unofficial biography. I haven't looked in it. I mean, I may have skimmed through the pages. It looks legit. Like, look, this is Moses' handwriting. So, well, I mean, this is Moses' stone writing. You know, this thing right here. So, do you want me to read it to you? So, Shaphan read the unofficial biography to Kingface. Okay. Thus, it happened when the king heard the words, he got naked. So he ripped his clothes off because he's like, oh my God, these people are fucking terrible. My people, the people I rule. Oh my God, they are terrible. They're really fucking terrible people. I feel so bad right now. I feel like they're look, they give God kidney shots to the face all the fucking time. This is terrible. This is so bad. I need to rip my clothes off. Yeah, that is a thing that happened. I don't even know, but okay. Then the king commanded Hilkiah, Ahikam, Abdon, Shaphan, Isaiah, saying, go inquire for the Lord for me and for those who are left of these terrible ass people and of Judah concerning the words of this unofficial biography, because God's about to empty his Tommy gun of fury on that ass. So we need to find out. Oh, the work is fixing God's house. They wanted the money out of the church. Okay, because all the money goes to the priest. But they don't ever fix up God's house. So it takes a king to tell them, hey, take that money and fix God's house. What the fuck are you guys doing? You're masturbating backwards. Really, fix God's house. So that's when they grab all the money during church services and go to fixing God's house, because they wouldn't do it unless they were told to. Okay, listen, this book is saying God's about to empty his Tommy gun of fury. It is going to be all bad for everybody all the time. Yeah. It's going to be like you're walking backwards in time, but you're moving forward. Yeah, you need to go ask God, what the fuck? So, Hilkiah and those the king appointed went to Huldah, the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of, oh my God, I'm not. But anyways, her husband was the keeper of the wardrobe, and she dwelt in Julan in the second quarter, and they spoke to her to that effect. So, okay. So the first quarter would be the people in the castle. So she's like middle class. So they spoke to her as if she was middle class. They called her ma'am. I I don't know why that fucking matters, but apparently they spoke nice to her. Okay. Then she answered them. Look, God's got to tell you something.
Hey! Hi. My name's God. I know you guys never met me before, but I heard you read my unofficial biography. Was it any good? I mean, I figure it was good because I lived through it, but it was a long time ago. Man, this is good times. Did you read about what I did to Aaron because he called me a cow? Oh my God, forget about Fugazi. Hi, General Piggy. Anyway, anyway, it was so nice of you to read my my book. Well, the book they made for me, but I read it once and it seemed pretty good to me. Yeah, they're gonna write more of it eventually, and it'll be cool because you guys will be in it, and then I'll get to reminisce about how I'm about to bust that ass. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm loading my Tommy gun of fury as we speak. I'm just, I'm just joshing. I'm just joshing. Don't worry. Okay. Tell the man who sent you to me, behold, I will bring calamity on this place and its inhabitants. My Tommy gun of fury is loaded with curses that are in this book because y'all have forsaken me and burned incense to other gods. That you might get me pissed off and we're going to break up because that's exactly what's about to happen. Look, look, I am so pissed off. I am about to empty my clip. Look, look, I got a banana clip. I got an extra clip. Look, it's about to be some shit. Yeah. But as for the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of me, in this manner tell him concerning the words which you have heard, because your heart is tender, and you humbled yourself when you heard his words against this place and against its inhabitants, and you were nice to me, and you got naked and cried. Yeah, there is nothing like that. Look, yay. Look, General Piggy, I'm reading. Okay, who sent you to me? And you got naked. I have heard you. Surely I will gather you to your fathers, and you will be gathered in peace, and your eyes will not see what I'm about to do to this place.
Oh my God. God is the. Yeah. Yep. Nothing new is under the sun except for me. Okay. So they brought back word to the king. Then the king sent and gathered all the elders of Judah and Julian to the king went up to the house of the Lord with all the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Julian, the priests, the Levites, all these terrible ass people. And he read in their hearing all the words of the book of the covenant, well, God's unofficial biography, which had been found in God's house. Then the king stood in this place and made a covenant to follow the Lord and keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all his heart and his soul, to perform the words of the covenant that were written in this book. And he made all who were present in Jewland and Benjamin take a stand. So the inhabitants of Jewland did according to the covenant of God. Thus Josiah removed all the abominations from all the country that belonged to these terrible ass people, and made all who were present in Israel, all these terrible ass people, he made them promise to diligently serve the Lord all his days. They did not depart from following God. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. You're the only one in chat. You're the only one that's been chatting with me, Chris. So don't worry. Hi, General Piggy. Welcome. Foreign Rebels, Glory of Christ. Are you guys still here? Because I think we're about done. Well, I'm done reading, but I would like to know what anybody else thought about it, especially you, Foreign Rebels, because you listened today after I was in your chat bragging about my Bibling skills. Will you copyright me? Make me a valued thing. I'm just kidding. So, are you the new boss of something? What did you get, General Piggy? What are we bossing? I'm a boss. I'm the boss of the sauce. I just don't want to be. Chris, I talked to you on the phone, and doesn't nobody chat my chat. So you can just come and chat. Dude, I don't give a shit. I'm just happy people show up. I wish people would talk to me more. General Piggy talks to me a lot. Usually he's the only one here talking to me. But sometimes he only will show up to one of my streams a day. Speaking of you, General Piggy, did you see my raccoon videos? Man, that raccoon baby is so cute. Oh, Chris, real quick. I know I can't come get electric hamburgers with you, but can you help me buy some raccoon food? I'm mostly just kidding. I was an expensive woman in your life for one time, and it was to pay for my streaming. Remember that? Yeah, that was a good time. You showed me the raccoon last night. Oh, I'm so proud of that. He was in my house. Dustin yelled at me today because I tried to get him to come in the house again, and Dustin was like, no. Or usually when I do it, he'll be like, but he'll see the video after I do it, and he'll be like, Nicole, I told you not to bring the raccoon in the house. I'm like, but he was so cute. Honestly, I just like you and what you're doing. You should call me sometime. Also, I'm not a psychopath. I, Chris, I promise you 90% of the time I forget I even have a phone. So if you don't call me, I will forget to call you. Because my phone just sits over there and just goes off every couple hours for alarms. And then I'm like, I don't need a phone. I got my computer and my imaginary friends. So you have to call me. Also, it's a two-way street, but you might have to call me more because, my brain is broken. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Oh, shit. Things are happening. Things are happening. Okay. General Piggy. I am I am 90% of the time one of those things. Yeah. I love when you call me names though. I told you it's my favorite. Did that foreign rebels leave? I wish he would come and tell me what he thought. I know you're lurking and you're probably doing your own channel thing. But just come in one time and tell me what you thought. I like to know what people think about my show because I try to make it. Well, I obviously I don't upgrade anything and I don't really try to do anything different because I like it to be more natural because then, it doesn't seem so pretend. But, but when we get the new house, it won't be this bad anymore. This is just all shit thrown together so I could have a messy ass party pen. It'll still be messy. Well, it won't be messy, it'll be cluttered. It'll still be that way. But you'll be able to see all the toys. There's so many toys. And maybe even, we might even be able to put that there's a bunch of fucking Hot Wheels cars. We have so many Hot Wheels cars. And I want to make a wallpaper out of Hot Wheels cars because I think it would be fucking awesome. So maybe at the new house, we might be able to do that. And then you could see all the Hot Wheels cars, the Naruto posters. Yeah, that'd be so cool. Would I pick up if I called you? Well, of course I would. Nobody, I'm telling you, I don't realize I have a phone because don't nobody call me. I use it for an alarm system. Well, an alarm clock, I mean. Well, I'm telling you, who doesn't want Hot Wheel wallpaper made out of legitimate Hot Wheels? And then there's so many fucking toys. Dude, Dustin has so many toys, and we have so many fucking Nerf guns. And, dude, toys are like the thing around here. I have all the Naruto keychains. I have Naruto posters. I have Naruto dolls. I have Naruto socks. What does everybody else have? Like, I have toys and shit. What do you guys have? Oh, I also have sippy cups because I'm supposed to be drinking out of a sippy cup. I have a lot of sippy cups. Yeah, I'm so serious, I'm not serious. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah, it's kind of like a thing. But, Chris, go over to Pilled so I can shut down my YouTube and, well, actually, never mind. Never mind. Because it's almost bedtime. No. I'm gonna go make coffee. Then I gotta take my pills. And then I gotta make Dustin lunch. Oh, yeah. Look, look. I learned how to do wifely things. I packed Dustin a lunch now. Yeah. Look at how upgraded I am. Right? That's an upgrade. I upgraded. Oh, you don't collect specific things. You know, Dustin also collects electronics to cut them apart to maybe because he watches these YouTube videos of dudes that make stuff out of stuff. And he thinks, I'm going to make something out of this. But then his ADD, he's like, oh yeah, I got to make something else. And never does that. He starts projects and never finishes them. Like, we have a cutout letters of my name, Nikki K. And when we get the new house, I'm going to figure out how to get it in my video. Maybe I'll figure out how to make Jimmy Juggalo hold my name. Yeah, I'll do something cool like that. What about you, General Piggy? Oh, where'd it go? General Piggy ran away. I wonder if um, I don't know. There we go. Heavy Metal Jesus. What if we have Heavy Metal Jesus? Yeah. Do you collect anything? Like, we have toys and shit. Like, what do you collect? Well, maybe you could start making YouTube videos of building electronic things. You know, like get yourself on camera electrocuting yourself. And General Piggy, what do you do all the time? It takes you so long to finally answer me. Oh, this is no bueno. No. It's okay. I'm okay. Maybe not okay. I don't know. Oh, the other thing I collect is boxes, except for packing boxes. But I went down to the corner store. I have to move and stuff by the end of the month. That's true. That's true, baby. That's true. And dude, there's just something about boxes. I fucking love boxes. I have boxes of stuff I'll never use. But I'll take it with me. But I went down to the corner store and asked them for some boxes. They gave us milk crates and some containers. And Tuesday, they're going to give us boxes because they were originally going to buy this house and just keep us in it. But the land people aren't going for it. I think they were just telling us they're going to sell this house, so we'll have to move because we pay the less amount of rent. And they want more money, and well, they can't suck it out of us because we are on a incremental program or something like that. It's crap. But we can't even look for a place to live yet. Like, we're stuck in between some dick and balls and not even the taint. We are like, I don't know, closer to the butthole than the ball sack. It's terrible. That was a terrible thing to imagine. I'm gonna start getting really sad when I have to cut a grundle. Yeah, grundle. That's exactly the word. I don't even know, but it sounds like it would be exactly the word for what's happening. Um, oh, General Piggy? Yeah. Go over to my pilled side. He's on my pilled chat. Yeah, he treats me so nice. No, let me tell you about General Piggy and what he did for me. There was, it was a couple weeks ago. Like, I was digging holes in my arm it was like when Dustin had lost his job, and then the rent people want us to move, and then the car broke. It was just so much stuff. And I was digging holes in my arms because I was stressed out bad. And I came on pilled. And I was talking about swallowing all my pills at once. General Piggy stayed with me the whole time. The whole fucking time. Yep. And then he called me stupid and told me to never fucking do that again. And then he's called me names ever since then, and I absolutely love him. Yep. You remember that, Piggy? Okay. I want to go drink coffee. Yeah. I am stupid. Yeah, I won't do that again. I won't do that again because I can't get that stressed out. That was bad. That was bad. I haven't been this stressed out in a long time. But it all worked out. It all worked out. It's so crazy to me that there is a mysterious gravity between people. Know that, yeah, we're going through. Gotta go. I love you. I love you too, and I'll see you later, Chris. And call me because I forget I have a phone. So just call me tomorrow. In between electrocuting yourself. And Peggy, are you ready to go also? Because I'm gonna go do the wifely thing and make lunch. Because I've upgraded. That was just for you, Peggy. Okay. Are you ready? Play a song. All right, wait a minute. Let me shut my YouTube and stuff off.